Having a bit of a
Anyway,
blood situation.
super
Hello.
Having a blood situation. I fully came in here thinking you'd already started, but I'm just realizing you just pressed record now.
I was literally as you joined, I was saying to Chris, I was like, "This." I was being rude. I was like, "This fucking harpy never showing up with her periods are attracting bears towards the podcast. The bears
I
could
hope
be
you
getting
locked your
closer now.
door.
Yeah, I hope that door is locked. I hope your honey.
Yeah.
I hope your honey and weirdly biscuits, if child's books are to be believed, are in safe places away from bears. Because
Hide your picnic baskets.
your picnic basket is certainly in
Yeah.
trouble.
Danger.
Danger.
Look out, TJ Miller might show up.
Okay, where did TJ Miller show up? What Facebook post did I see where TJ Miller showed up somewhere?
Oh, I don't know. I just he was in Yogi Bear the movie.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
TJ
That
Miller
makes
was at the
sense.
London.
That was a
Comedy
deep bear cut.
I'm
This is
really
deeper.
having to readjust myself right now. We've given ourselves 2 weeks off. Well, I got 2 weeks off.
You got 2 weeks. So we've been here. We've been around.
We've been doing it.
I don't know if you saw. I changed my shirt. I was here. It was every day.
I'm wearing a different shirt, but it looks like I'm wearing the same shirt because all my shirts look the same. Yeah. Here's the weird thing. TJ Miller was at the London Comedy Store last night. So four comedians that do not post on Instagram all posted a photo with TJ Miller, all clearly taken because they're trying to remember how their daughter explained to take an Instagram post with TJ Miller because they clearly have been told this person is famous, so they're trying to get some sweet likes, and they
That's
just don't.
so funny. That's
I'm
so funny.
I'm trying to guess who my first guess. Like I'm guessing all middle-aged dudes.
All middle-aged dudes, all quality,
middle-aged dudes.
also all quality, like fun boys. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not talking Steve Gribbin of the comedy.
Okay.
Store, you know what I'm saying?
We talk like Alistair Berry.
Alistair Berry would be one of these guys, but is not one of these guys. But great.
Okay.
Like what I'm saying is, it's like if you were trying to guess the Seattle Mariners, and you said, did Ken Griffey Jr. once play for them? Actually, Ken Griffey Jr.
Roger
was a very
Monkhouse?
handsome- not Roger Monkhouse. Also, Roger Monkhouse deeply into Brexit now.
No, now that's the worst time. That's like being into the Smashing Pumpkins now.
That's what
Like,
I've chosen to do.
you
I've
missed it, bro.
only have gotten into the Smashing Pumpkins, and I only like their new. I like Zwan.
Oh yeah,
Zwan.
who doesn't love Swan? That brief moment where Billy Corgan was a happy person.
Ashley, do you know what Zwan is?
I have no idea, and I also really strongly feel like I don't want to.
It's actually kind of nice.
Ashley, come on. We wouldn't do that to you because we were here practicing. Oh, that was the Ashley theme. Damn it.
Whoa, that did not make it seem like we were coming from a nice place.
UTS.
No, it didn't.
UTS.
No, it didn't. The
Swan,
soundboard knows
Twilight
you
Zone.
better than you do.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said the soundboard knows you better than you do.
She certainly does. The soundboard is a lady. I'll have you know.
Oops.
I think you guys would be bizarrely intrigued and happy with my current music vibe that I'm going
Oh yeah,
through.
are you listening to the new Conway the Machine album?
Oh, fuck off. Fucking douchebag. When's he just going to admit he just wants to fuck a 25-year-old and doesn't actually like any of that hip hop? Like, there's no way he enjoyed me. It's so not quite on the beat, and it's just so gaudy. It's tacky, Ashley.
It is tacky. I think Chris is tacky though. I think
Ashley,
he owns it in a weird way.
Ashley, is the look that you're going for today girl next door, but she has a secret? Because that's what it feels like.
You know what? That's actually pretty much the vibe. I went playing tennis this afternoon, so I think,
my God.
yeah.
Oh, new person.
I haven't played tennis in 20 years.
Can
and
you just repeat the sentence of how you said you played tennis?
I went playing tennis.
Come on.
Nice.
Come on, Eliza Doolittle. Time for the ball.
Yeah.
If this was a farm, we would have a lot of Pygmalions.
Do you guys want to guess what my music is
I
that
saw
I'm
what John
listening
did there.
to late? I didn't even give it the time of day.
If you're on a farm, Pygmalion, come on now. George Bernard Shaw
Pygmalion,
reference.
George
Let's
Bernard
go.
Man and Iron Man, Superman, I think actually doesn't play.
Oh dear.
I feel like it's like it's gonna be pop. It's gonna be something upbeat. and dancey that you can play tennis to.
I don't know. I think actually it's going to be off-piste. I'm going to say it's Megadeth.
Ooh,
Neither of you are right. Neither of you are right.
Afro beats.
I am currently in a hardcore country kick.
Yes.
I
thought about guessing country. I want it noted. I thought about guessing country. Let me say this about country music. So much better than anyone gives it credit for.
Oh, it's so good. I've always liked awesome. I mean, we've already covered that I'm a big Gareth Brooks fan, but I think this is the first time I've really done a kind of
okay, well, where are we going?
Solid. Okay. So the three that I've been listening to for the past couple of weeks are a guy called Billy Strings.
Okay.
Yes. Put some dust in the baggie. Also, I got bad news for you. Actually, you're going to be into the Grateful Dead soon because the amount of because you know that Billy Strings covers the Dead massively. Like if you go see Billy Strings, it's 3 hours. Oh my God! Like there's even a Grateful Dead song you've already said I like.
Yes,
there's a fiddle version of on a fiddle.
Okay.
Can I just say you guys have named a musician that I've never heard of, and I think you're making him up because he's named Billy Strings.
I know it's he's the best. It's so on the nose, and I did kind of go, God, why am I listening to somebody called Billy Strings? If it was something that you guys had said on a podcast, I wouldn't have given it a beat.
This is how cool
he's great.
Billy Strings is.
You know, so good.
Do you know who turned me on to Billy Strings in maybe 2019? Paul Byrne. That's it.
There we go.
That's a good stamp.
That's a good stamp.
God, Paul Byrne.
Billy Strings, a guy called Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah, Sturgill Simpson.
Sturgill Simpson, great. Yeah. I'm really enjoying him. And then another guy called Townes Van Zandt.
Yes, you finally found Townes Van Zandt?
I found Townes Van. Well, okay, a very sexy man that I'm working with told me to look him up.
Who's the sexy man?
Oh, very sexy man. Very sexy man. Very sexy, very married, very happily married man.
If you like Townes, never stopped it before. If you like Townes Van Zandt, check out Blaze Foley, who was his best friend and was shot defending a friend of, or stabbed defending a friend of his, so he died early. But he's like, he's like a bunch of country musicians' favorite country musician.
It's also country music, and this doesn't get stressed enough. They are such fuck ups. Like the amount of country musicians that just died on a road, like none of drugs, just attacked by a bunch of coyotes. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you don't have to live the life of your, like, there's a lot of rappers that aren't drug dealers, guys. You don't have to be country.
Disagree.
You can just live a life and sing songs.
I maintain the black conspiracy theory that is correct, that Jay-Z was not giving up music when he retired with the Black Album. That was a signal to the Colombian drug empire that he was no longer going to be the America's secret largest cocaine distributor.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I like that.
I'm going to say this.
There's a really good album called Fiddle Tune X.
Yeah, there is.
Is that by Pentatonics?
No, it's by Billy Strings, and it's like it's a live recorded album. So it's just got audience cheer and everything in it, and then but there's just some really good kind of riff parts throughout it, you know, where they just go wild on a banjo or something. It's great. But there's one song on that called Walk On Boy, and that's just really what I'm feeling at the moment. It's great. It's so good. But yes, it's those three country folk and then hardcore rap. Like
now we're talking. Take John off the screen. Let's go.
Busta Rhymes? Is Busta Rhymes one of them?
I think Chris will be really happy with this one.
Is one of them?
There's a lot of Childish Gambino. I'm getting very like I've always liked Childish Gambino, but I'm getting back into him.
Your level of hardcore rap is a little off.
Yeah,
yes. I'm probably wrong in calling. I am probably wrong in calling it hardcore rap, but a lot of like really funky hip hop rap sort of stuff.
Great. I mean, Childish Gambino's awesome. He's so good.
Childish Gambino, Anderson .Paak, who you had sort of turned me on to a few weeks ago, so it's kind of just seeping into me now. What was the other guy? A little bit of Kendrick Lamar and a guy called Hootie Allen, who I'm not sure of.
Wait a minute.
There's a couple of songs that I like there.
Like Hootie of the Blowfish, Hootie Allen?
That'd be so good.
That's all I want. That's all I want. It's
I
so
don't
crazy.
think it's going to be the same person, but
it is not. Ashley, Hootie.
No. Hootie and the Blowfish is like, what if the Dave Matthews Band had a black singer?
But here's the craziest thing about Hootie and the Blowfish was the most. This band is going to be the next Beatles, and turned out to be a one-hit wonder. Like they're featured
no one said that. Ashley, do not believe this lying
They were featured
man.
on an episode of Friends. Like it was.
Yeah, they were famous. No one thought they were going to be the
that's
Beatles.
the only thing I know them from.
They were everywhere.
They were the Animals. They had one hit.
How dare you compare them to the Animals? The Animals were so much better than them because not only
of course they were, but they were famous for a week and a half.
It's always such a risk to bring up music with you guys.
Red wine. How about you pour that up your asshole, Bets? Huh?
See,
was that UB40?
No, that is UB40, but
that was UB40, yeah.
But the Animals also
not
have
even
a song
close. Completely different band.
No, there's a red wine.
I'm gonna find decades. Missed it by 20 years.
Just because you're doing the Canadian thing of then picking up the pace doesn't mean that you're also correct about this. I think they also have a Drink a Wine song by the Animals.
John, I think you need to concede to defeat there.
Absolutely not. I'm a straight white man. Do you think we've never conceded to defeat? We conceded to defeat one time.
There we go. I want to say it's the first time I've ever heard someone.
You know I don't like to be up here by myself.
Tough.
I mean, I'm not gonna fill space. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait you out.
You're gonna do the wait out? You can't
I'm
do
gonna do the wait out. I mean,
Chris,
you're here.
doing
You're
the
back. You're back.
We're not live
It
anymore. You can't just sit with it.
You just lost the
can't just
game of
sit with it.
chicken.
Oh, is that what you think we did?
I think it's exactly what you did. For any podcast listeners, I'm currently looking at a picture of David Crosby.
David Crosby is looking at you judgefully.
Ashley knows who David Crosby is now. We did our work.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. This is David Crosby.
We're so
who is
silly.
This, who is this?
I couldn't.
Hey.
I do not know who that is.
That's Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris's older brother.
Yeah.
His half brother. It's from his mom's previous marriage. His mom married a cow, a bull. Produce this. Also, we actually have not started this show yet. This is all just
no, we haven't.
This is just the cold open. Does someone want to say live?
Cold open.
Live from Sunday. It's the Piss Show with butt faces.
Oh no, the Canadians are coming.
Chris, John, and Irish Ashley combine to make the ultimate tea, better than any wet dream. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream. John's the CEO and boomer. Ashley's the real leader. Chris brings the vibes and juices as our enjoyment increases. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream.
And we're back.
Hey,
We're back, baby. I'm not doing it.
Oh, it was so fun. Your face when I removed both people from the screen was an absolute treat. You were commander of the ship, SS Unimpressed. Oh my God. Camilla's own pleasure cruiser, the
SS Unimpressed. That's great. I love that.
That is a joke stolen from a woman named Becky Forbes, who said that in 2002 to describe another woman named Jen Heckman. I remember when you were a kid. You were captain of the SS Unimpressed, and I laughed so hard I had to lay down.
Okay.
That's great. That's really good.
Fun fact about
So,
Jen,
how is everybody? I feel like it's so long since I spoke to either of you.
It's
been a while. You've been on set. You've been posting pictures of you with your gear.
Ooh, yeah, and a lot of fun work vests. A lot of thick jeans. I own
a lot of I don't wear jeans on set. I do own a lot of t-shirts though. I've invested in t-shirts again, and I've got some nice ones. There's a company called Big Wild Thought, and they have little embroidered animals on them, and when you buy them, a little portion of the cost goes to a charity that supports that animal. So feels like a good thing. And they're also just really nice t-shirts.
Nice. I've been buying T-shirts from a company called Only and Sons, and when you buy that, they donate a little bit of money to China's one-child policy.
Yeah, towards one child. They want to bring it
Yeah,
back.
Only Sons. Only Sons.
I get my T-shirts directly from Amazon. I was like, they actually take the shirt off.
I get my leggings from Amazon.
Yeah, off someone who used to have a job in a store. They take that person's shirt and send it to me. It's very expensive. They're so comfy.
It comes pre-musked. That's nice.
Nice.
I was on an Alaskan cruise. I was around many baby boomers. It was fine. It was just at a certain point, you're just like, I know I'm doing this just for the money, but do I need the money? And that's also, I do need the money, but also I'm just like, I hate this. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Walk us through the cruise. Give us the David Foster Wallace's supposedly fun thing I'll never do again. When you were boarding, did they pre-board you? Did they post-board you? Did you have to board with them like cattle?
Before we get to that, I just want to say this right now. If you ever make a David Foster Wallace reference again, I'm going to tie a bandana around your head super tight, so tight that your head explodes.
John, it's the thing about my jest is it's infinite.
Oh God, Ashley, you really
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Thank you. The thing, Ashley, you really lucked out by not being born in the middle 80s is that in the early 2010s, you didn't have to put up with a lot of people annoyingly reading The Infinite Jest, which is a thick-ass shithead book. While you could really tell someone was going to be later outed in the Me Too movement because they had completed Infinite Jest. You know what I'm saying?
Chris, comment?
Yeah, it's Infinite Jest is an impossible book for dickheads.
Exactly correct. Anyone, and I mean this, if you finished Infinite Jest, you are Louis C.K. No Remorse. That's who you are.
It's like what Ulysses or Finnegan's Wake is to Irish people.
Oh, it is, God, but like to losers.
Yeah.
Ulysses is this like great piece of an indecipherable work by a genius, and Infinite Jest is this garbage, extra long Rolling Stone article for Limp Bizkit, rehabilitated Limp Bizkit fans.
Yeah, Infinite Jest is like, oh, what if Chuck Klosterman was an asshole? And you're like, oh, it would be this. Just a Chuck Klosterman reference. What have we become? God bless us. Actually, do you know who Chuck Klosterman is?
No.
He's like, I'm surprised
he doesn't like small spaces.
Oh, fuck off, mate. Oh, that's bad.
It took you so long to get there.
I almost kicked him.
It's
because I want you to know why. Because I almost took the joke too far and kicked him completely out of the stream.
I mean, that would have been funnier.
I couldn't. Yeah, but then I wasn't sure if that's what it was going to do or was it going to end the stream. So I just brought him back.
Infinite.
No.
So what
Chris
happened?
Spent more time not in the stream than he was on tonight.
So part of it is it's just like I'm just burnt out. Like I realized flying back yesterday, it's like I hadn't been home. I said 3 weeks. I think it's 2.5. Like since 2021, and I was like, what the fuck did I do there? And it's because people rudely died. It caused me to fly to England selfishly. Jesus, make it more about you, Paul. Jesus, and stuff like that. But I was just so burnt out, and just seeing a bunch of just gun owners in T-shirts that are like faith, family, and whiskey. Just having a lot of
for real.
Oh yeah, America.
That's
baby.
exciting.
It's very funny too because it's also what you learn about these people in society is that the vast majority of them are pussies and are just cosplaying of being like big tough men.
Of course,
like it's just like it says 1776 on your T-shirt. Aren't you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed? Because you should be embarrassed.
Yeah, tough people don't have to show toughness. This is one of the oldest things in the world. It's basic to humanity.
The thing is, I think I'm quite tough, and I do not seem tough.
You're a survivor.
Yeah,
nothing's gonna hold you down.
It's a different type of toughness. I think that actually you have a lot of grit. But if we were in a bar fight, I think that you might be a bit of a liability.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That
I
is
will say
fair.
this actually. No, that's not true. Your one asset is I feel like you were very good at running and getting a bouncer. Like I feel like you're very good at like, no, actually you do need to come. Hey. Like this is very much something I feel like you have done before in your life is yelling this to a bouncer. I need you to pay attention. You need to go do your job. Am I correct?
I don't.
You ballpark it.
I've probably done something
Yeah,
similar. Yeah,
that's
I
right.
probably have.
And I also, you know what I've done? I've done a lot of eye contact with that bouncer where he's looking for confirmation if he actually needs to go. And I've done a lot of that.
I had to ask a security guard for an escort recently.
Oh.
How much did you pay for him?
Yeah, we were the same joke. Good for you.
We were filming in a little bit of a rougher area.
Oh.
In a
was her
building that
name?
had an escalator to get up to the floor that we were filming on, and we were up and down all day. And at one point, a couple of the residents came out, and one of those residents was on his way out the building and looped back around and started talking to me and waited for me to get in the elevator. And I just went, I'm not getting into an elevator with you by myself.
Was he really handsome? Was he a really handsome guy?
He had visible evidence of drug abuse.
Which drug?
On his face.
Yeah, that.
Oh, but Scotland. Scotland isn't a meth place. That's the fun thing. So are we talking old school?
I'm not certain. I don't think I know enough. But I was just I'm not being in an elevator alone with this person. So I just kind of briefly walked away and just said to the security guard, can you accompany me, please? And he just didn't even question it. He was just like, yeah, I know where we are.
Yeah. Was the guy on the ground floor when you got out of the elevator?
Yeah.
Was he wearing sweatpants?
He was wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
He had teeth missing.
Oh yeah, baby.
He had dried blood on his face.
Oh, yay. I wouldn't get in that elevator.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you.
The fact that he was already on his way away from me and sort of doubled back and started looking at me and talking to me. And I was talking away nice to him and everything. Yeah. I just didn't want to be alone in a metal tube with him.
The confidence of men is phenomenal. This guy he's on heroin, dried blood on his face, missing teeth, and he's like, "Oh, this woman's doing her job." Hello.
I don't think he's feeling confident. I think he's feeling like there's an opportunity to enact violence, perhaps. I don't know.
maybe. I mean, there is something about some guys where they're just like
consent was on his mind.
But was he like chatting you up, or was he?
In my mind, I felt like he thought he was being very smooth, and it's just kind of like no mas.
Because there's that, like Kyle Kinane has that great bit about like a coroner carrying a body downstairs as a house party is leaving, and the guy's like literally carrying a body, and he's just hitting on women, and he's asking for a number, and then he lifts the body bag, and he's like, "Life's short, baby." And it's that like that confidence of like no matter what situation you're in.
It's a very good bit.
It's great. It's a fucking awesome bit.
I will say, the problem with that bit is I was with Chris. We both saw that bit live. We saw him do a better version than the version of it that he recorded, and it pisses me off. That entire
was that in the Camden, or was that
in Soho?
Soho, yeah.
Is one on me and Lauren. Oh my God, blast from the past girlfriend.
Oh Jesus.
2014 girlfriend. Went and saw Brendan Burns' show where Barry Castanola pretends to be developmentally delayed. On hindsight, probably not the best idea. And
did he go full method as like, was he a plant in the crowd?
Yeah.
Whoa. And did he stick with it the whole show?
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair pretending to be
shut up.
Like very cerebral palsied, like crazily so.
Why would you do that when Tim Renko exists? Why would you like? And like, listen, I love Barry Castanola. He's very funny, but come on. If you're gonna pick between Barry and Tim every time.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a weird thing to say, and this is an odd hill to die on. Based on someone who saw the show for the purposes of the bit, it had to be Barry because
Okay.
for the final punchline to at work, he has to be able to get out of the wheelchair he was sat in and hit Brendan in the head with a chair. I don't know how that's a comedy show looking back.
You could have just dropped the chair bit. Tim will make it. You got to be
That's right.
patient. You got to be patient, but he'll get there, and he
Oh,
will
yeah.
hate you, and
Oh,
he'll really take joy in it.
I mean, I got to say this about Tim Rinko. And actually, have you met Tim Rinko?
We've had him on the show.
Yes, we have
Uh-huh.
him on the show.
I've met him in real life as well.
Nothing ever will be as fun as watching that guy stare down tube employees so they open that gate. I think about it anytime I'm taking the tube, is I just think about him stood there with his walker, just eyeball fucking them to open the gate. And I will never ever not be so proud of myself when I told them, bear in mind he was in the second season of his BBC sitcom. I said, you do not need to open the gates. He has the money. And I said that to this fucking coward while he opened the gate. And then Tim just laughed in his face and in my face. Because let me say this about the Ring Man. He delivers.
He delivers.
I am working currently with somebody who is the focus puller on that show. Focus puller in the camera department.
Okay, I just thought you meant like a really good supporting actor. It's like,
no, in the camera department you have the person who like operates and moves the camera, and then you have another person who's like making sure that the camera's staying in focus on what it's filming. Who is the focus puller? So somebody who was the focus puller on Jerk, and he just said he signed onto this project, and he said, I will keep everybody who does not have cerebral palsy in focus.
Correct.
You know what I love about that? Tim would laugh his ass off at that.
Tim would love it.
And lose his shit.
I mean, he would. You would also then have the question: is he shaking on purpose? Because that guy goes pretty deep sometimes with bits, where you're like, "Is this real?"
Sure.
Like, there was someone in Edinburgh where he did something and he was just living a different life for a while. I can't remember the circumstances, but there was like a misunderstanding. It was a version of those things. There was a misunderstanding and he just kept it going.
Wow.
Motorcycle.
Chris
is in Toronto in the summertime, so now it's just going to be a bustling loud time. There is something about, I do miss Canada in the summer because it is the only place where summer really feels like, no, we got to enjoy. You got to enjoy it, man.
I went out on Friday.
A little bit like that.
I went out on Friday. I've been laying low because I'm trying to save money, and I went out on Friday just like watch a show. And on my way to the show, the whole city looked good. Like everyone was sexy. I don't know how they did it. It was like. I don't know what the fuck they were hiding under their parkas the whole winter, but god damn, everybody was on point. I was like, shit, way to go, guys.
Let me just say this about Toronto in the summer. Toronto fucks.
100%. It was crazy to watch. I was in awe. Very impressed. Like Montreal levels of everyone's hot.
It's so funny. I always found that actually to fill you in, there's always this reputational thing of like Montreal's where all the fucking babes that are sluts live. And if you go there in the
it's
summer,
not wrong. It's not wrong.
Babes that are sluts are being particularly scantily dressed in their slutty babe. First of all, it's a city. Every city has babes. Like, I understand there's extenuating circumstances. You can still find a clutch of fucking hotties in any community. Yeah. First of all,
Montreal is overrun.
Disagree.
And it's a very sexually positive city. It's people are just.
But here's my problem: is people always say it in this way that like Canada isn't filled with sex positive cities with pretty people. Like Vancouver and Toronto.
Canada only has 4 cities.
I understand, but 3 of those cities are also places where you can definitely get your asshole eaten, no prob. You know what I mean? Like, it's what the perception is. Montreal presents itself where it's like, this is the only place that fucks. And it's like, no, it's not. We all fuck. And you're like, that's fair, actually. Like, it's just like It's in the same way that when Glasgow really is like, you don't know what it's like to be us, and then Edinburgh's like, we're also Scottish, and they're like, yeah, fuck you too. That's what it feels like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Glasgow's getting a little bit of a taste of summer. I mean, yesterday was gorgeous.
Let me guess.
And
21
then
degrees.
today I went out to go play tennis and it started raining.
Can I just say this? This is something this is particularly Scottish.
It's Men in Black too. It's not. You're not sad because it's raining. It's raining because you're sad.
Yeah.
I really took umbrage with it. I just sent my friend a picture of myself sulking in a raincoat because I was so annoyed that it was starting to rain. I just said, can we not just get a full weekend, please?
So Scotland has fucking horrendous weather, but in the same way where Montreal, when the sun comes out, people are like, let's do this penetration wise.
So
Scotland
good.
is able to do that, but when it's like fucking disgusting out, people are still like,
I think I've been asked
for the podcast listeners, John is actively pointing at his crotch. He's just snapping his fingers and pointing at his cock and balls.
And taint, chode.
Oh, look at you, modern man.
And he's definitely looking for a little bit of quack, quack, quack.
Oh,
in that
100%.
gesture.
Yeah. Yeah. If it weren't a terms of service thing, we would have spread those cheeks.
This is a thing that happened to a friend of mine. She was on a first date. They decided to have sex together, and they got down to the like getting naked part, and then he just lay on the bed and then just presented his asshole, and she was just like, "And what is this?
No.
It's the best." And he went, "Oh, this is something I'm into," and I won't say the person's name, but this person rocks. They went, we're into that, not you're into that thing.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's excellent. Do we know the person?
You do not.
Okay.
I hope. Did he do it wordlessly? Did he they took off their clothes and then he 100%. Just without a word, just like laid down, put a pillow under his hips to vaunt them up a little bit.
Who was it?
Spread.
Chris, is this a person you met? It was like speaking of ex-girlfriends, so after I dated Lauren, when I went on that fun sort of patch and I'm seeing a bunch of different people, my friends with benefits person from that period of time. We stopped knocking boots. She went on a bunch of dates. One of the dates was with this person because I remember she called me afterwards and was like, "This is a nightmare."
It's so funny.
Just presenting me.
So funny. I think I'm not certain, but I think I've been asked out on a date.
By who?
Classic UTS content there. You think you were asked on a date by
Sure.
Okay.
During the week I bumped into somebody that I worked with on Batgirl over a year ago.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser.
Hang on.
Yeah.
My computer screen keeps blacking out, and I thought it was because it wasn't charging, but it's not. It is charging, and so I don't know why it keeps doing it.
Mine's doing that. My phone was doing that too, but I think it's StreamYard isn't registering as like using the phone, so it starts to go to sleep. I don't know if you haven't. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's not gonna die. Just for a brief second there, I was like, "Oh my god, has my computer just died?" But it hasn't. So we're still here. But yeah, so I bumped into somebody that I worked with, and I did bump into him last year during the Fringe, actually, but didn't really speak to him that much. But we got a chance to chat this week, and then I think he's sort of slid into the old DMs. That's what he's done, and he just sort of suggested we grab a drink sometime soon, and then I don't know, I'm just kind of like, is there a vibe? So I'm not sure. If
he DMs you about a drink, that's a. I realize this isn't my generation, but yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
Actually, I don't want to shoehorn a bit in, but then if he's any more clearer, he'll be literally doing this.
Junk point.
Well, there was a little bit of chat, kind of work related, and then he sort of said, "If you want to grab a drink," because
anyway,
And he
Come on.
started voice noting me as well. So I'm.
Go
Oh,
fuck
grow up,
yourself, man.
Ashley.
This-
Grow
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Come on.
grow a fucking pair of testicles next to your fucking vagina, please. What in the name of Christ do you? No one just wants to go for a drink with a work pal. You see them at work. You want to go drink with someone?
Especially when you haven't worked with for a year.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, anyway, he's a
wants
very,
to
very
see
sexy
them.
Italian man. And
arrivederci.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Come on.
First of
All
all-
the evidence is piling up
First
here.
of all,
This is
I don't want to be
ridiculous.
I don't want to be crude, but with your badonkadonk, you're just lucky that he's not just stood on a street corner just yelling things at you that sound like he's performing an opera. You know what I'm saying?
Just crying in that way that Italian men do when something's too beautiful.
It's the only one of the few. There's something about being close to the Mediterranean that you have the ability to be angry at your tears for existing.
what's really fun is that when I did run into him, I didn't look great. You know when you're just like this now today.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
feels good.
And now I'm just
I remember when Sadaf and I moved in together, and we were going for a walk in Finsbury Park, and we ran into someone that I used to sleep with.
Which
And
one? The one that I'm thinking it is? The one that is the funniest one? The one that
I think so. Yeah. And so we ran into her, and she was like going for a jog, and she was just jog, just like whatever, just sweaty, had been exercising. And I saw it on her face because we hadn't seen each other in a while. And I saw that look on her face of like, not now, fuck you. and like Sadaf looked incredible because she's a beautiful woman. And so it was just that thing of like, fuck the universe. This is bullshit.
no. Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm very aware that I'm a scruffy person, especially in this work that I'm now doing. I'm scruffy. And so it's just kind of nice. It's kind of nice that it got
I thought you looked
good reaction.
you looked very nice in that picture from the set. You
It
looked
was
very
literally that day.
yeah.
Ashley,
You
can I
looked
just-
great. You look
Ashley,
great.
Ashley, look at me.
That
Ashley,
was the
look at me.
picture that he used to slide into my DMs.
Oh
my
yeah, there you
God.
go. There you
Of course
go.
he did.
100%. You know what he was doing as he was doing it? Italian crying. Oh my god.
Ashley, look at me. Look at me. Not scruffy. First of all, to be scruffy, you need a beard, and you cannot grow a beard yet. But luckily,
You
are
would
from
be
Ireland.
surprised. There's a lot
those-
of plucking going on.
I'm sure there is. Listen, I'm not saying that there isn't going to be a point in your life where you won't be able to grow a beard. Listen, I've been to Ireland enough. I've seen those old ladies that just go,
Mhm.
"This is me now."
Yeah.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's in the same way that I'm totally fine if you grow your armpit hair, I'm all for it. But there's something that was put in my brain by Fred Durst in the 90s. I have a 1 millisecond of just bah, and then it's like, oh, it was fine. But I think there's like that. I feel like RoboCop with that directive about OCP employees. Chris, you'll get the reference. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been removed from my brain, but it still goes through the list. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm at the very fun point now where I've been looking at buying an ear hair trimmer. That's welcome to being basically 40.
Mm-hmm.
I have been trying to regrow my eyebrows, and
Still, that's since day one on this thing. That is
not happening. It's just there. I think I need to give up. This eyebrow is losing its battle with alopecia.
Do you know what's nice about just giving up about your eyebrow growth is there's nothing to be done. It's like giving up is the same as not is like.
But I like my eyebrow.
Just leave
you
it.
Go to Turkey.
It's great.
Turkey does hair regrowth incredibly. Apparently,
like
that's the spot.
$350 for like the head. So for like an eyebrow, it's got to be like 75 quid.
Yeah, you get to spend some time in a city in Turkey.
I've already spent 30.
And
there you go.
You get to go to a place that is and this can't be stressed enough.
This is 10 weeks in. 10 weeks into a regrowth serum, and it's done fuck all.
I mean, it's fully connected. It's there.
It's not really though. It's so patchy.
I mean, patchy is still there. I say keep going. Let your freak fly, bruh.
We'll see. It has got a few little blondie ones, so I'm gonna do a bit of a dye job. We'll see.
You could get them tattooed on, like all those cool people that get
I'm
that.
not. That's
You could
not.
get really cool, just eyebrow like
Mm-mm.
thick ones, big
Oh,
they're
Paradelphine,
Ashley?
they're so tacky looking.
How much
Yeah.
money?
half like an
much money?
ICP tattoo.
How much money for you to get eyebrow tattoos? And I'm the one that does them.
Oh, new mega stream coming up.
Absolutely not.
How much? I think I can get
No.
it. How much? How much? Name your price.
I mean, my price for pretty much anything at the moment is like 200 grand.
Easily done.
Have we seen Will Duggan lately? I haven't spoken to Will since
Will
he got
Duggan
a tattoo.
has not spoken to me since we got that tattoo.
I've been texting. He is a child. He's just. I've been texting with him.
No. He did not have the child before he stopped texting me back.
That's great.
I say reach out to him now. I think you're fine.
Nope.
All right.
I'm scared now. I'm
Don't be
convinced.
scared.
My
you know what's so
anxiety.
funny?
No, my anxiety has convinced me that he absolutely hates me now.
Oh,
You're out of your mind.
I probably am. My
Yeah,
anxiety
yeah.
does that, you know,
I assume you're going to see him at the Fringe, and you guys are going to be back to being in love.
potentially.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just letting.
oh, what is happening in Ashley's apartment? She just got
What
a look
was
on her
Don't
face.
know.
Was that a bird?
Ooh.
Oh.
Remember when a bird flew into Ashley's apartment? So funny.
Okay, so Chris, looking at Ashley's face, do you think it's good noise? What kind of noise do you think she
I
hears?
just understood what's happening.
Oh,
sex. Those are sex noises.
No, it's not. There's a dog in the apartment.
Okay.
It's also fun, guys.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
different
also
kind of
fun.
fun.
It's a different kind of fun. Very much
What's
so.
nice is it's not someone about to fuck a dog.
No, it's not. Thankfully.
Good.
Yeah, here's hoping. Ashley, what would you do if you walked into your flat and your flatmate was getting fucked by a dog? What would you do? I would just turn around and I'd have to go back. Okay, that's just something I know
I
for
don't.
the rest of my life.
What would I do?
I think you turn around and leave, and I would.
I think I would turn
some-
around and leave in that moment, but my stuff is here, so I couldn't leave for good.
I would send someone for my stuff.
I think I would call the police.
It's one of those things where it's like I don't know what crime is being broken, but I feel.
But
it's
I
in
feel
the
like there is
crime-
one.
Oh yeah, no, bestiality is a crime.
It is a
You
crime,
can't-
I think. Yeah.
It's equally a crime to be fucked by an animal as it is to fuck said animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the RSPCA.
I mean, I gotta tell you, that's gotta be a rough day getting arraigned for bestiality. You
Yeah.
are, like, even the guards are like, "What the fuck did you
Why
do?"
is this
Yeah.
why is this my job today? I feel like that's
I feel like the inmates wouldn't know how to punish you.
yeah.
They'd be
Oh my
like,
God.
"What?
Everybody would just like not
how do we
going near
treat
them.
this one? This
No.
is
Not going there. They can just stay over there away from all of us.
yeah."
While on the cruise, I listened to Joey Diaz's book on audiobook, and Joey Diaz is a comedian. He's done a bunch of crimes.
I do know Joey Diaz, but I'm interested in the fact that you were listening to his book.
I'm just listening to whatever. Anyway, there was a part where he was in jail, and he always suspected that this guy was a rat. And then he walked into jail, and it was so funny. He's like, the thing with prison is weird. Is like they do all this thing to protect the rats, but they're also the guys that work in the prison, so you always know who they are because they're only going to trust like all the trustees are informants because that's the only people they would trust.
Oh, of course.
Like,
Yeah. That makes
so
sense.
he walks in, and the first person he sees is his friend Steve. He hasn't seen in 2 years, who's a trustee, and he's like, "Fuck, that's how I got arrested." And the guy just turned to him and went, "Yep, that guy's the rat." And he was like, "Motherfucker!"
Oh
And
my gosh.
he just talked about how he's like, it's not in like in the movies where you're like, you're gonna get him. He's like, I'm gonna get him. What am I gonna like? Okay, so
Yeah.
then, well, like they'll know who did it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was, yeah. Worth to recommend that audiobook. Very fun. Very fun. Nice. Nice.
That does sound interesting.
Nice 6 hours of just a man doing a lot of crimes, a lot of perspective, which is very interesting. I was not expecting there to be that much sort of like well-rounded thought about a life of crime from a man
Mhm.
who I once heard fart up a flight of stairs. I've never heard, like, he was like in 2 doorways And I was stood at the top of the stairs in the belly room, and I heard "boo," and then I walked down, and someone had just said Joey Diaz just farted like a dinosaur down here. And then I said, I think I heard that upstairs.
There's like a series of TikTok accounts that are ex-cons that just talk about what prison is really like.
Oh, phenomenal.
Wow. Okay.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But one of my favorites is he's like, people think that they're going to come in and just not join a gang.
Yeah.
No. There's no walking into prison and being like, not me, guys. No, thank you. You guys do what you're going to do. I'll just be over here. Like, pick a gang.
Okay, so the really great one is there's a YouTube account, which is a guy, he was a bank robber for like 30 years. His name is Larry, I think. He's always in a sleeveless t-shirt. And him talking about sink etiquette in prison, he's like, and it's such a great point. He's like, listen, he's like, it's a bunch of guys that have no control over anything. So any area where someone could be like, this is my sink, this is how we do it. He's like, you just got to be aware someone's going to be in charge of it. So you just have to like, just roll with so here's what it really tells me. I don't want to go to prison.
At all. Apparently it's part of an institutionalized thing as well. Like when guys come out of prison, like don't touch their stuff.
No.
Like if you live with them, if you're like friends with them, right, you're visiting their house or something, and it's like, oh, what is this? It's like, nope, don't touch fucking anything, because of that same thing of like you have so little control over anything. So it's like the little things that are just yours. They'll lose their shit. They'll flip the fuck out.
You know who's also like that? Anyone who's gone to boarding school. Any fucking posho that's gone to boarding school in England. Oh my God. Jimmy McGee, who moved that? What are you talking about? The magazine on the coffee table? It shouldn't be moved. Are you out of your fucking mind? What do you mean? How do you know it was moved? And he's like, I know. And you're like, oh my God, those sons of bitches.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had any curiosity or inclination to want to go to prison. It's never been never.
I don't. No. Fuck you.
It sounds horrific.
Also, there's no way. Like, there's no way you can believe what anyone is saying. Is the other thing I always think about in prison. Like, imagine having a conversation with someone where you're like, but you would lie. You're a murderer.
Yeah. You would just doubt every interaction you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even like Swedish prisons where it's like, look at this apartment you have, and there's green grass, and we're going to teach you how to build a quantum computer. You're still in prison. You're still like, you have no control over anything. Your whole day, it's like the military, but you don't get anything out of it. No one stands for you at sporting events. You just are told what to do forever, and then for the rest of your life, probably. That's a fucking nightmare. I have trouble at my job when my manager tells me what to do. I tell them with my eyes to go fuck themselves, and then they leave me alone. I got drunk with one of my managers the other day, and he's like, man, some of those looks you shoot me, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen.
I want you to know something, Chris. You're probably going to shoot me one of those looks right now.
What's that?
Well, we have to end the stream. Sunday is over. Let's head to Wednesday. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I don't know really what we talked about or why we talked about it.
Country music. Happy Mother's Day if you're in Canada. Yay. Call your mom.
I already called my mom. Everyone call their mom. I'm also intentionally taking a long time.
Yeah. Mine's dead. Bye.
Yeah. Guys, the important thing to take away from today's show is Chris's mom is dead. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
And that's all. Penis into her vagina.